So what's good guys, TechSimplified here, back with another video. Sorry I didn't post a video last week. I'm sure if you follow me on my Twitter and Instagram, you knew I was in Vegas and I didn't really want to make a vlog, so I'm back with another video today. Oh yeah, and did you notice I'm wearing a hat now? With style. So the Galaxy S7. Now it's 1 year old now to this date. The Galaxy S8 is going to come out in about a couple of months. What do we have now? Well, we have a phone that still has some pretty great specs up its sleeve, a great camera, battery life, and many others. Well, this is a re-review of the Galaxy S7 one year later. Let's not waste some more time. Let's get into the video. Okay, so the design of this is still stunning to this day. With its curved metal edges and Gorilla Glass 4 covered front and back, this is surely a heck one beauty of a device. The phone feels really great to hold in hand because of the glossy glass back, but it's also one of the most slipperiest phones I've ever encountered. I mean, literally. Even with the case, I still drop this thing periodically, but it does have a curved edge for some grip and support. And also, the glass back is prone to many fingerprints, so you might want to slop some rubbing alcohol on it from time to time. Anyways, build quality is awesome, even for a phone with glass on both sides. With the metal construction, it's prone to some scratches, but not a lot. The glass back is okay, just either don't drop it or get a nice case like this one. Even bending the phone does nothing, and all I can say, this phone is built like a tank, and I give it the second best build quality behind the HTC 10. Okay, so now for the specs. The device is rocking a Snapdragon 820 quad-core processor, last year's chip, but still works great, which can give you that boost in high productivity apps, and also gaming with that Adreno 530 GPU. You've also got a 5.1-inch 1440p AMOLED screen with bright colors and deep blacks, 32GB of storage with expandable micro SD up to 256GB, 4GB of RAM, a 12MP f.1 aperture camera on the back with 4K video, and a 5MP wide-angle selfie camera on the front, an accurate fingerprint scanner, waterproofing, a 3000 mAh battery, and Android Nougat 7.0. Wow, that's a mouthful. Okay, so now let's talk about the camera, which is one of the most looked over topics in a smartphone. So like I said, this has a 12MP f1.7 aperture camera on the back, and a 5MP wide-angle camera on the front for selfies. One word for the camera: great. Great, but not the best. It has some of the most oversaturated colors on photos out there, but if you like bright colors, then this camera is for you. And it's also got some of the greatest low-light photos out there out of any smartphone camera, on par with a Pixel because of that low aperture. Video is pretty good too with the optical image stabilization that can stabilize your video and make it look 10 times better than without OIS. Video can go up to 4K at 30fps, which is a nice touch, but 4K isn't really that mainstream yet, so I'd stick to shooting 1440p or 1080p for storage purposes. The wide-angle selfie camera is great, giving you those selfies you couldn't get on your other phone. Overall, camera is pretty great on this, and it's one of the best up there. Battery life. All I could say is it is so much better than my previous device, the Nexus 5, and even the S6 II, which this year Samsung had bumped their battery up from 2500 mAh to 3000 mAh, which was a very great decision. I could practically get 4, 5, and even 6 hours of screen on time with heavy usage like playing games and watching a lot of YouTube. The S7 Edge has a slight improvement in battery life with 3600 mAh battery, but there's really no difference in real time. With my Nexus 5, by the end of the day, I was getting down to about 2 or 3%, or even dead like a lot of times. With the S7, I get a significant boost ranging from about 30 to 40% more depending on usage. All in all, battery life is not top-notch and even better than the Pixel. And hey, at least my battery doesn't explode. Good job on that one. Now with the screen. We're talking the 5.1-inch 1440p Super AMOLED panel. This phone has literally the best screen I have ever owned out of every phone I've had. Quite possibly the best screen I've ever had. Colors are very sharp with almost the best color accuracy out of any device, and the blacks are very deep because of that Super AMOLED panel. I can look at the screen compared to my monitor screen, and this is about 20 times better. Brightness is pretty great too, but don't turn it up too bright or it will drain the battery like crazy. There is also a always on display feature because of that panel, which it could display things like the time, notifications, and date. Overall, best screen I've ever used, period. Now it comes to the software and extras of this device. TouchWiz is still not my favorite launcher, so that's why I still installed Nova. I mean, it has been optimized throughout the years, but it still is very heavily skinned and filled with bloatware. Still, it is very smooth to navigate, and the UI is okay. However, it does have an Android Nougat, which is also a nice touch. The fingerprint scanner is fast, accurate, and is about as fast as the iPhone 7's. The headphone jack is also a nice touch. Apple, please get your head straight. Micro USB is still pretty universal, but I would like to see USB-C on the S8, which is exactly what will happen in Samsung's case. Micro SD storage is awesome, especially if you store a lot of music and or photos, because that 32 gigabytes of storage won't cut it. Again, Apple, please get your head straight. Question is the Galaxy S7 still worth it now that the S8 will be coming out? The answer is, depends who you are. If you are a person who needs to buy the latest phone that comes out with the best specs and one from the most reliable companies, then this phone is not for you because it's last year's model. If you are looking for a great but flagship smartphone still less than $500, then this phone is for you.
So yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Hope you liked it. Be sure to like and comment on each of these videos, that would be very appreciated. Remember to subscribe. As always, I'll leave the product that I mentioned in this video and the link in the description. See you guys in the next one. Peace.